Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is Game God Fluent, bringing you episode 8 of Let's Play Loren, the Amazon Princess. Of course, it's a blind LP. Hope you guys are doing well and ready to see more Loren. The whole world was quaking, ready to burst, and the sword knew this, and let's head right to the next line. Here we are. So this is continuing from episode 7. High in the ever-burned mountains, a thundering, unearthly shout rang out over the mountains, shattering windows and putting out fires. Did it glow? Tell me, in that princess's hands, did that sword glow? I don't know. I only know that she has it. I'm completely positive on that, my lord. Then you had better find out if it glows. We have come too far for the gods to meddle in my business. Sir, you know that I need more power for that. My omniscience is limited. I can't just do it whenever. What use are you then? The succubus frowned, about to growl something in her defense. Luckily for her, the chamber's doors flew open and Grob came hobbling in, wheezing. You speak of the ember blade? It glowed. It glows. He threw all his weight onto his staff as he tried to recapture his breath. Jewel crossed her arms and prepared herself for another of her lord's tantrums. The lava in the room sputtered and flared in Faust's white-hot rage. She needs to be killed. I recall someone saying that such an option was covered. How did that go, by the way, Grob? The goblin shaman sneered at Jewel. It went according to plan, actually, but they are collecting more and more allies, so she is well protected. But the lizardmen will be able to handle them. That is... Oh no, haven't you heard? Quiet, I will tell him which. I have heard enough bad news for today, Grob. Yes, my lord, but the lizardmen have been slain. Loren has her mother, and they are leaving the swamps. Faust's scream shook the room, causing the tiles on the walls and ceilings to break off and shatter on the floor. Jewel and Grob were barely unscathed. Can't do anything right, Greenie. And what is it you've done for the Lord lately? Silence! You will both pay dearly for these mistakes. You failed to keep promises and have compromised me for the last time. My lord, you are being too hasty. I made you a promise that there would be a war. I have come to tell you, the war is upon us. This quieted Faust as he sat down on his throne. How? Unlike some of us, I have great ability at your service, my lord. The humans and elves were itching for a war as it was. A change in the wind would have sent them to war. Nevertheless, it was my illusion magic, lord. Faust was silent for a long moment while the demons before him feared for their lives. This is the only good thing that I have heard from the two of you in a long time. That will not be the case again. The two demons bowed before Faust's throne, glared at each other, and then left. Alone, the animated suit reveled in the thought of the world at war. His plans were finally starting to come to fruition. It was a cloudless night in the Empire. The night watchmen of a small town guarded their posts as usual. Only merchants and lowly travelers entered the village in such a dark hour. So it was beyond suspicious when a group of elven scouts marched right up to the town. Hold, who goes there? The elven scouts marched through the gates and straight into the main square. The city guards rushed to block the roads. The elves suddenly stopped. What is your business here? Go back! We don't need... The guard's commanding tone faded as the elves took out their bows in unison and loaded them. We're under attack! The arrows flew in all directions and the bloody screams woke the whole town. The elves mercilessly attacked the guards, showing almost no emotion as one person after another was slain. The guards barely had a chance to defend themselves or their loved ones. An arrow pierced an invading elf's skull, sending him to the ground. There, the elf's visage melted away and showed the corpse of a goblin instead. The skull was crushed under the foot of a defending guard. That's the illusion magic. Just outside of the forest, Grob wheezed painfully and grasped his staff closely for support. This should be the last of it. With a wave of his staff, the few goblins who remained in front of him turned into human guards. They looked at their new forms for a moment and then scuttled into a battalion of human soldiers that was forming next to them. "Go now, hurry!" The illusory soldiers then marched forward and right into the forest. Rob looked up at the moon and then coughed. Finally, he teleported himself back to the Everburn Mountains to give his report. His master was waiting for good news. Chapter 2, World at War. So we actually completed the first chapter. I don't know how many chapters there are. 1,000 XP for finding Queen Karen. That's going to level up everybody, and we may get even more characters. Wow, crazy. Let's level up Loren. No skill points, but we can go strength. Strength even. Saren. I do have a skill point. Let's see. Restore 1, resurrects, neutralize 2, life 2, restores 50% of targeted allies' HP, but at least 100 HP are restored. Energy restores 25% of targeted allies' stamina spell points. Different thief things. Let's go ahead and get life 2 for restoring health. Let's go will, skill, and will. Level 6 for Draco. He could get haste since he has clarity, which we've never used. I forgot he had. Let's go will. Strength for hit points. If we get Fireball 2, hits all enemies in a row with fire damage for 250% of caster's base attack, and a 20% chance of causing burn for 5 turns. So less damage but higher chance to burn. Same idea with these other ones. These are all the same except for Phantom Form. Transform target into a half uncorporeal being, increasing the defense by 50% and speed by 10% for 3 turns. We shouldn't rely on fire if there's fire-resistant enemies. So maybe we should also get Tornado. Chance of causing tired for 3 turns. Tornado 1. Okay, he's done. Level 6 for Dora. We can get Snipe. 40% of the target's actual HP. That's really good. We could also get Pinning Shot 3. Yeah, we can get Pinning Shot 3. 175% damage and paralyzed for 4 turns. We can get Camouflage 2. Sneak Attack if the target's staggered. Hit single target that's staggered for 110% base damage and 110% accuracy with 30% chance of causing scared for 2 turns, which could unleash Rain of Arrows. Hit single target for 100% damage and enemies around him take 50% of damage. Snipe is open though. It's very hard to land those status effects though. Although it's a very good ability. This can attack any shattered person. Or not shattered, staggered. Let's go with snipe for the big gains. Let's go skill. Strength. For possible frontline duty. Level 6, Apollomesho. Could get paralyzed 3, hits all enemies with normal damage for 80% of base attack and 25% chance of causing paralyzed for 3 turns. That is so wicked good. He does have heal a full row of allies by 25 HP for 3 turns. Let's just go ahead and get paralyzed 3. It's so wicked good. And let's just go will. Level 6 for Ramus. We wanted to open up Crushing Blow, which we did, and he's got... Oh, wow, look at that. I didn't even realize that. Staggered target. Damage of 200% and 40% chance of slowing him if we get Berserk 1. Get Willpower 2. Let's go ahead and work on that. Let's get Berserk 1 and work on Mighty Blow 1. Let's go Strength. Will even. Level up for Amukiki. With a skill point. We wanted to get Shield Wall. We got it. Shield Bash. Can Paralyze. Let's see. Shield Wall 2 reduces damage by 40%. He could get Battle Cry 2. 75% chance of causing fear in the whole enemy first row. Shield Defense increases character's defense by 30%, but decreases speed by 10%. We'd have to get that to get Shield Wall 2. Character uses both the weapon and the shield to hit enemy, increasing damage by 30% and stagger chance by 15%. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the Paralyzing Shield Bash. And let's get Strength. Wait, he's going to need some SP, though, to do this stuff. He should be fine. And level up for Karen. We did unlock Whirlwind. Oh, she already has Whirlwind. Death Blow. Leg Break. Leg Break's pretty good. We can get Focus Target 2. Mark an enemy as a focus target for 4 turns. Karen's attacks will do 150% more damage. We can get Strike Through 2. Back row gets 75% damage with 40% chance of causing scared for 5 turns. She gets a Whirlwind 2. I kind of like Leg Break though, but then we'd have to go with Death Blow. Leg Break can slow them, and it's 100% chance to slow them. Oh, if they're staggered though. Let's go this route, Focus Target 2. And for her, let's get Strength, Skill. And she's got a lot of good abilities, so we should get Will. Actually get 2 points of Will. Alright, cool, there we are. Let's continue. Loren and Saren led the party out of the swamps and toward the nearest town. They needed clean beds and hot baths, and couldn't be more eager to have either. Before they had trekked far, a bright light flashed in front of them and a person appeared. Where are you guys going? The shapeshifter. Why have you followed us? Sorry we did not inform you, but I have my mother and no need of your services. I already know that. You knew we had found Queen Karen? Yes, okay, so I knew there was a woman and a man taken hostage by the lizard men. I just assumed that that was who you were looking for. I'm glad at least one of them is alive. Karen stepped forward, but Saren held her back. Was I supposed to go rescue you? I didn't know you, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything all by myself. You don't survive in the swamps by sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Why didn't you just say you knew my mother was there? You sent us on a hunt for ingredients. This conversation is about as lame as telling you outright I was, trying to help. Ick. Just saying the words make me shudder. I hope you're happy. Your methods are unorthodox, but you did lead my daughter to me. Thank you. Karen turned away to look at the sky with an empty expression. Saren couldn't stand to see his queen so desolate and thanking a person who only barely helped them. You're deceptive. Most dark witches are. What? Whoops. Are we down to name-calling? Really? I don't just teleport for anyone, so shut up about whatever happened and listen to what I have to say. Chambera crossed her arms, but Loren gave her a warning look. You're about to walk into an Empire town and get shot on sight. Does that sound fun at all? Why would we be killed? I'm the Archwizard of Grimoire. Maybe not you, but all of your friends. She only received blank stares in return. None of you know, do you? Out with it. The Empire and the Elves are at war. War? The entire party froze from hearing it. For so long, the two factions had been teetering on the edge of it, but both sides had worked hard to keep from shedding any blood. Saren first looked to his mistress. Loren paled, but she had been upset since the Chizulu temple, and he worried how much trauma one Amazon could take. Bringing elves onto Empire soil and vice versa will only get you shot down, dead. The Empire declared war against the elves. Why? Groups of elves invaded human towns and a regiment of soldiers attacked a forest city. Impossible. Our army would have not marched into the forest, as you say. If they did, it was to root out someone or something. Perhaps the Empire found proof of conspiracy in that elven town. No. It was completely random, and worse, the attackers completely disappeared afterwards. That doesn't make sense. No casualties or prisoners? Something is wrong with this war. And I'm warning you before you go home and cry about it. Not everything is as it seems. Do you know anything more? Are you hiding your knowledge again to keep from directly helping us? Chambera sighed heavily. You're welcome. Have fun with your little war. The swamp should be much more peaceful now that you're preoccupied. Hold on, you should help us. Your magic could be very useful. Dark magic is never useful. The shapeshifter ignored the insult and started to turn away. I don't care. Witch hunts won't happen while this is going on, so I don't mind it. Bye. She flashed away suddenly, leaving only smoke in her place. They stood silently in the field for a moment. This is grave news. Her warning us is unfortunately appreciated. Our elven party members would be killed and the rest jailed for interrogation. You cannot travel into town. Archwizard, the council will need to hear from you. Yes, I was just thinking about that. I need to return to Grimoire immediately. Princess Loren, we must make a detour. I am returning to the Amazon Citadel. Apollomeshu was startled by her defiance since he was used to having people obey his orders. This is a matter of great importance. You are in possession of the Ember Blade. Her Majesty has made no commitments to the Empire. I know what you want from me. With the Empire at war, you wish to use me as you were going to use your gladiator. I was to be your weapon. Amokiki shuffled uncomfortably and held his head high. The sword is my responsibility, and I must take it back to Grimoire. That is all. It is my sword, mage. You said it yourself. You cannot wield it, but you may find me at the Citadel. Loren started walking away from the wizard and his warrior. Apollomesho gripped his staff tightly and shouted after her. I have your word that you will be at the Citadel with the sword. You may seek an audience with the Amazons like everyone else. The tall woman dwarfed Apollomesho and his brow furrowed. You will see me again in due time. Amukiki, come. The gladiator locked eyes with Saren before turning away to follow the mage on a different route. Saren looked over his shoulder several times, watching the two leave. Loren changed course for the Citadel. As tired as she was, she needed to get her mother home and quick. Along the way, they unfortunately met with the war. Even as they tried to avoid it, swarms of elven scouts and Empire soldiers massed to battle and were so enraged that Loren and the party were mistakenly caught up in the chaos. Saren fought hard to keep his mistress safe while still keeping his own hide intact. You need to fight 3 times to get back to the Citadel. You can choose to travel near the Empire or Elven borders. The type of enemy you'll encounter will be decided by this choice. If you fight in sequence, you won't be able to heal in between battles. You may camp to fully recover, but every time you camp, the next encounter's enemies will be more powerful, so be careful. Okay, let's go ahead and save. And I guess travel through human lands. Review your party setup. Looks like we've got Karen in there. Get you and get you. That works. Fire Mage. Fireball, I reckon, is not going to be as powerful against them. Shooting is, though. You can reach with a spear, can't you? No. Let's focus target. Dora. Ooh. Doing wicked damage. Heat blood. Loren. These level ups are being felt now. To a whirlwind, a crushing blow. The captain is staggered. Should probably do a tornado against you. Whirlwind. Nice, you can mark one and then whirlwind. There's a lot of cool options you can do. Guarding the mage now. Dang. That one was weakened before. Crushing blow. Let's go ahead and whirlwind. Attack that one, actually. Go ahead and shoot him. And Dora, are you fireball and kill the wizard or the mage and kill that one. Very cool. Very fun combat. Old spear. 2 potions of healing, 92 gold. Let's travel through human lands again, I guess. We're a little damaged. I'm a little worried. Same setup. Let's pop off the fire mage. Oh, she doesn't have the MP. Dang. That's gonna be a problem. Or the SP, I should say. Let's go ahead and get a potion of minor vitality. Let's pop off. Heat blood. Oh, Draco's burning. Kill the mage. Or Draco, not Draco. Karen, Whirlwind. We're gonna have to camp after this battle.
Try this on for size. Great, let's eat.
Draco's very powerful, but he acts much less in combat because of his skill not being too high. 2 potions, a quartz, 90 gold. Starting to accumulate a bit of gold. Saren stirred from his sleep. His mouth had gone dry as he woke in the middle of the night for water. When he got up, he saw Loren sitting on a fur pelt looking up at the stars. Ma'am? Loren looked down at him. I have to hit my water bottle here. But she was not startled. I am guarding the campsite. You may rest. You haven't been to sleep yet? Loren looked back up at the stars with no response, which told Saren the answer. I will guard now so you can sleep. She shook her head. Why not? I cannot. Worried about the war? How do you fall asleep at night? Saren blinked and looked around, not expecting such a question. It's not always an easy task, but if I distract my mind from my problems, I drift away soon enough. How can you get comfortable without a mound of fur? Do the insects not bite you? Don't you hear the creatures calling in the night or feel the elements sting you? No lavender grows in these plains, so the air smells of filth. The people here are crude, disrespectful, and allowed to roam free like animals. I am woken unceremoniously by the sun, beasts, or my own hunger for food that is not terrible. And every time I lie down, I keep awake in fear of unchecked bandits and demons. So I ask again, how is it that you can sleep at night? Saren smiled to himself. Why are you smiling? I believe you are homesick. Excuse me? You miss the Citadel. Loren faced away. I do not. If you were homesick, that would make sense. You spent your entire life restricted to its walls. It's the only way you know how to live or how to sleep. Loren kept staring intently ahead of her, refusing to acknowledge Saren. Saren sighed and moved away from Loren and back to his bed. He stared at it briefly and then picked it up. Princess, you may have my fur should you wish to sleep tonight. Loren finally looked back at him. Saren placed his fur pelt next to the one Loren was sitting on. No, wait. Take it back. You need to sleep tonight so that you don't kill yourself tomorrow. I'll sleep. How? Take back your fur. Saren smirked again. I am homesick as well, Majesty. In the Citadel, I slept on nothing. Loren gawked at Saren as he laid on the ground and got comfortable. Loren had a hard time processing the idea of sleeping with no bedding. She continued to watch Saren until the man closed his eyes, and only then did she believe it. She turned back to her own fur and felt the hair upon it with a forced stroke. 2 furs definitely felt better than just one, but she had to be sure. Loren laid her back down on the 2 furs and stared up at the stars. She was much more comfortable, but at the expense of Saren. But he was her servant. He was supposed to make sacrifices for her. Loren hung on the fact that Saren was a servant. Servants slept in the slave pen. They slept on the ground. The slave pen must not have had furs. Loren shoved her eyes closed. She tried very hard to never think about the slave pen once in her whole life. She never wanted to consider them because she was afraid that if she did, she would feel as she did at that moment. Loren turned on her side and watched Saren sleeping. She watched his chest rise and fall with each slow breath, and how his hair fell over his eyes. She considered waking him just to give him the fur back, but her eyelids were too heavy as she fell asleep. Aww. How sweet. Okay, we're at camp, so let's go ahead and talk to peeps. Loren was still quiet after her mother was found. Saren had anticipated that Loren would be happy, and that she might, against all odds, smile. Yet she was incredibly somber, almost as if the very sight of her mother depressed her. Saren approached her in hopes of comforting her. I have brought you food. Loren only barely raised her eyes to see the platter. I am not hungry. Are you regretting finding your mother? Loren now gave Saren her full attention. How dare you say that? This is just my opinion, but you are not relieved at all that you have found her. Instead, you are acting like she is dead. Forgive my forwardness, but I don't understand. My mother is not dead because I saved her. Friendly. But who you found was not your mother. Is that how you feel? Loren's mouth dropped open. She was almost too offended to speak. I'm sorry, that was very presumptive of me. You do not know the relationship I have with my mother. This is perfectly normal. Our lives have returned to as they were before. Saren took in a deep breath, considering that the queen and princess's relationship might actually be as tortured as it was now. There was no way that he could truly know. You're right, I should not have said anything. Loren shifted uncomfortably and turned away, too eager for him to leave. Saren had opened up one of the most difficult dialogues. I have noticed that you and the Amazons remain neutral about most affairs. Yes, and? I find it interesting. Even when it comes to dark magic, you have no strong thoughts about it. Dark magic does not threaten the Amazons, and we are not afraid of it. Whatever morals or religions that cast certain magics out are not of my concern. And the war between the Empire and the Elves? That also does not concern the Amazons. If I may ask, what then might the Amazons care about? Are you joking? Our own affairs. If something directly affects my people, then I will cast an eye towards it. So, you don't think the world at war affects you at all? People war with each other all the time. We will sit it through like we always have. Friendly. But people are dying. You don't care at all? Are they Amazons? Someone must be like you in order for you to care about them. Or someone must be like you in order for you to care about them? Including me? Loren's eyes widened and stared at him. That's not what I meant. Yes, ma'am. Saren didn't know why he felt the need to throw that last part in, but he was relieved that she didn't deny she could and would care about him. Aw. Why are Amazon princesses not allowed to leave the Citadel? For the very scenario that happened. If the queen is killed in battle, her kin can immediately take her place. Except my mother did not have such a noble demise. She simply disappeared, and they attempted to crown me. And you couldn't stand for it? Of course not. A strong Amazon can only die one of two ways, by someone's blade or by their own. Saren's eyes went wide, though he had heard of a few ritual suicides in his lifetime. Neither of those sound fun. They are honorable. They embody absolutely everything that it means to be born an Amazon. But how is killing yourself a strong thing? Isn't that just escaping life? No, it is conquering both pain and death. You should ask whatever deity you worship to be so lucky. Should break camp soon. There's much to be done. Ramus? Hey, come here for a second. Ramus beckoned Saren to his side, looking around, checking if the coast was clear. Can I ask you something? Nothing personal, just wondering your opinion. Of course you can. I just wanted to ask what you thought of Dora. Dora? Why? Is something wrong with her? Wrong? Now why would you say that? That's what I'm asking you. No, I just wanted to know how you liked her. Do you mean if I find her attractive? Ramus sputtered as if he was electrocuted. No. Do you? No, don't tell me. I got eyes of mine own. I can see she's the prettiest girl this side of Everburn. She's a thief, though, ain't she? I think so, though she would never admit it. That's a rough life. I wonder what got her so low that she had to start stealing. And what if she got caught? Blast, that would be downright terrible. The thought of her wasting away in some prison cell makes my bones sad. Joking. Your bones have emotions? Are they ticklish? What are you on about? It's a turn of phrase, you moron. Not where I'm from. Anyway, I wouldn't worry about Dora if I were you. Apparently she's pretty good at picking locks, though I've yet to see that. It don't matter to me, just the thought makes me sick. Why? Well, why? Why not? I was just curious. You really do like her a lot. Does she feel the same about you? I don't know. Does she? I don't know why she'd like a guy like me. Do you think she does? Well, why don't you go ask her? What? Don't be daft. Go ask her. Puh. Right, yeah, like it's that easy. So bright, this one. Brilliant. Just go ask. What are you mumbling? Ramis sighed and adjusted his axe. What? I ain't say nothing. More? You are a merchant. What do you sell? Things. What kind of things? You know, stuff. Like? All right. I used to trade basic goods, but Dwarven mead was selling really good, so I started carrying around mostly mead. So I make a lot of trips selling mead, if you must know. I suppose you enjoy sampling it from time to time. So a dwarf can't enjoy a little drink now and then. What's the world a-coming to? How did you get so good with fighting with an axe? What kind of question is that? All dwarves get good at fighting with something. I got me an axe. But you're really skilled at it. How did you find time to become an expert if you were busy being a merchant? Oh, that's easy. Highwaymen. Riding around with a cart full of goods attracts a lot of fighting buddies. At the end of my routes, I'm twice as strong. Romance. Friendly? You've killed a lot of men. Not just men, but elves, too. Orcs, mostly, but I'd slice down any dumb slug that think he can take my merchandise. Don't you ever let some bandits go. Thieves are people, too. Ramis's cocky smile disappeared, and his eyes found Dora across the camp. You're right. Some just don't have much choice, do they? Oh. My axe is getting restless. How about Dora? I've been meaning to ask why we found you in an Empire city, but not in a Dwarven city. Oh, well, because I like grimy grimoire. There's all kinds of cool stuff to see, do, and have. It's even got a coliseum. Did you know I saw gladiators fight a couple of times? For free, of course. It's an amazing city to make a living in. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Were you born there? No. Where then? I was born in the Dwarven settlement, but I moved down and went along to Grimoire and stayed put. It's just that simple. Why'd you leave your hometown? Hey, look, okay? I didn't get kicked out of my village or anything. I left. That's it. Uh-huh, sure. I'm telling the truth. Whatever you say, Missy. Sheesh, it doesn't matter now, does it? I was where I was, now I'm here. I don't mean to be snappy, I don't. I just don't like talking about this, okay? All right, I'm sorry. Oh, hi again. Okay, Draco. What you doing? Saren turned and was startled to see Draco so near. Oh, I didn't see you there. You startled me. Oops, sorry. You always seem to do that. You're always around me. Why is that? I am, right. Of course I am. I'm the other side to your coin. My what? I'm your partner in crime with the ladies, because I'm so ugly, when we're together you'll look really handsome. Not that you need my help with that, you're handsome already. Saren's eyebrows raised. Let's save here just in case there's some weirdness with romance that I don't want. Not weirdness, but I mean if the game, like, takes this a little too far or whatever. Let's try to appreciate the compliment. You think I'm attractive? Draco's approval gave Saren an odd sense of validation, something he never really had before. Being a slave for the Amazons made him feel invisible, even unattractive. He had always found beauty in the men around him in the slave pen, but no one had ever expressed the same about him. Draco smiled several times as his eyes shifted. Yeah, who wouldn't? Okay, let's actually decline the offer, I think. I'd take you up on that, but I'm more focused on my duty to Loren at the moment. Right, of course. No doubt you'll do fine with the ladies. What's not to like about them? Pretty lips, nice ankles, big, yeah. Saren watched Draco slowly lose his energy and leave. If you can cast all elements, why is Firestarter your surname? Oh, yeah, I gave that to myself. It's really not a family name. Why don't you use your real family name? I don't know it. Oh, no, I'm sure there's not a good reason for that. No, you still win in the Whose Life Was the Worst contest. No use in me even competing. You can tell me. I didn't have a family name because I didn't have a family. Yeah, it's that simple. Not at all. You were orphaned. I think so. I don't have any memories of them. I just remember growing up in the academy. What academy? Oh, the Lothark Wizard Academy. It's a stupid place, so let's not talk about it. All right. What about your given name, Draco? I gave that to myself too, kind of. So you had a name before you started calling yourself Draco. That name was stupid too. I don't want to talk about it either. Joking. Everything you don't like is stupid, huh? Maybe. Maybe yes. Derry. What? My name was Derry. Stupid, huh? Don't start calling me that, okay? You have that look like you're going to start calling me that. I wouldn't dare, Ree. What's this about you being a famous mage? Yeah, why? Haven't you heard of me? Sorry, but I didn't know much outside of the Citadel. Right, that. Sorry. Anyway, I'm probably exaggerating it a bit as it is. I've been trying to make a name for myself, but I keep running into trouble. Trouble? Like what? Like not being able to actually being able to go into cities or keep a job. Why can't you go... Oh, is this about your mixed heritage? I try to minimize that, I really do. Everything else, though, it's only my fault. So you've been fired from several jobs because you've messed up? More or less. Joking. So what you're saying is that the only thing keeping you from being famous is how much everyone hates you. Does everyone hate me? Does Loren hate me? Do you? You're sort of a so bad it's good kind of deal with us. Don't sweat it. Suppose I should be happy to hear that, but I'm not. Is that weird? Maybe should have been friendly there. Nothing's new with me. And finally, Karen. My queen, how do you fare? Queen Karen rolled her head over to see Saren standing close, worry in his eyes. Rhizom had looked that way at the end of their journey. She looked away immediately, pain now setting in her face. Leave me. He took a step back. He knew that she likely would not find comfort for some time, and it was perhaps still too soon to speak with her. As you wish. Okay, I'm going to save here. And let's see how long we've been playing. Man, time just flies too fast. That is the episode. I want to thank you guys for joining me. Next time, we'll go ahead and leave camp and travel through human lands and fight the last human battle and head back to the Citadel, and I'm sure something wild is going to happen back there. So, stay tuned for that, if you would. I'd love to have you guys checking out the LP more. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the LP if you are watching it. If not, feel free to tag along with me. Or tag along with us, I should say. Much love, peace, and joy, guys. Take care. Hopefully see you in the next one. Much more to come. Bye-bye.